Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica J, and yes, I'm home, and I was just wondering if you've ever sat and thought to yourself, what are like the two biggest mistakes men make when they're falling for women? Well, if so, I'm glad you asked, because that's what I'm going to talk about today, is the two things almost all men do. I will say to an extent, all of us do when it comes to falling in love and becoming super infatuated with somebody and wanting to go to Pound Town. And it's these two mistakes that usually keep guys from moving forward with the women they actually want. Because when you actually do want this woman, it tends to happen so much more often and so much more strongly. So to make sure you never miss out on another opportunity to find out what mistakes you are accidentally doing when it comes to getting and keeping the women you want, or another one of my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. Well, okay, so when we fall for somebody, our body creates this influx of hormones that signals to us that, time to procreate, no, That's how our primal instincts sound. Because as I always say, our body does not know that we are not in caveman days anymore. It doesn't know that a T-Rex might come any fucking second now to bite our heads off while we are naked and vulnerable and copulating in the throes of passion. I don't know if you know this, but did you know that dogs, I don't know if y'all have dogs, but did you guys who have dogs ever notice that when your dog is taking a shit, it's actually making direct eye contact with you? No, it's not spite. It's actually your dog knowing it's in a very vulnerable position, making a poo-poo, and locking eyes with you to see if you're signaling any certain danger, because it is in those supremely basic biological actions like eating, sleeping, shitting, pound towning, that we are at our most vulnerable. So when our body is super heightened and horny, it's like, oh no, we're also very vulnerable. So my point, when falling for a woman, this is actually a very vulnerable thing to happen for your body. And the two mistakes almost all men make is either fighting those feelings or trying to force those feelings from her. So first, let's talk about fighting those feelings. Okay, so even though there is no, technically no imminent danger nowadays when you are in Pound Town, that host of emotions and that host of hormones still poses a threat to your existence as a man. Because one, emotions tend to override our logical thinking. Think about it for a second. How many times have you, found yourself doing something where you weren't in full control because either you were so fucking angry, you're like, oh my God, I can't handle myself, I'm just gonna punch a hole into the refrigerator. Or even, oh my God, I like her so much, I'm just gonna try to say something cool and funny and no, I'm not talking at all. Ah. So your body naturally knows that this is a threat, not having logical thinking, which is why a lot of guys will fight these emotions, especially when they're as intense as infatuation and the need for, I was gonna say need for speed, but I guess a need for pussy. Another reason guys fight is because it's not very manly to feel so butterflies and rainbows and kittens for women. I don't care how progressive we are as a society, men are still not, a lot of people, even women now, nobody is, praised for being in love. It's still seen as corny, you're acting like a puss, oh my God, she's playing you, or you're a simp. It's just not a cool look. So a lot of guys will fight it because they don't want to seem like they're into her, even if they are flooded with all these super lovey-dovey emotions. Which then brings me to the second mistake, which is forcing it. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, there's the guys who are like, no, don't feel this way, fuck her. And the guys were like, oh my God, I feel this way, she better feel this way too. Let's make sure she feels this way too. This is when y'all, I'm not saying y'all, this is when some of y'all might try to overwhelm her with all this beautiful shit that you're capable of doing in a relationship. Or even you just getting super clingy and text her all the time oh my God, I can't stop thinking about you. Did I tell you I can't stop thinking about you? Guess what I'm doing? I'm thinking about you. This is your attempt at trying to control the situation because, again, remember, emotions make us out of control. So this is y'all trying to control the situation, and it also stems from a an intense fear of being rejected when you do feel so strongly about a woman that you try to make sure she doesn't reject you and feels the same way about you. Hi, Mr. Cutie. You want to be in the frame? So, examples of fighting it. Fighting it is like you refuse to text her first ever, or you make sure you're dating 12 other girls in case she doesn't have the same feelings. It's you literally avoiding the growing connection and the growing intimacy between you two. An example of forcing it, I already gave it to you, where you're super clingy, you're texting her all the time, you want to know what she's doing every day, you want to sleep over all the time, you want her to sleep over all the time, you fucking moved in, it's only been 3 days. So make sure you check yourself before you wreck yourself. I don't know how many of you will get that reference, but basically falling in love is a beautiful thing. Getting more intimate with somebody is a beautiful thing. It's a natural thing. It's hard to say, like, don't fucking force it, don't fucking fight it, because it does make us feel so out of control, and women are notorious for doing it too. I'm not saying we aren't. I'm just saying be aware of yourself. Even call it out. Be like, yo, I feel like an idiot, yo. Like, I like you so much. I'm trying not to look like a douche. Honesty is the best policy. You don't want to make her think that you don't have the same feelings for her, or you don't want to try to force feelings out of her either. And if you know that you're not even really sure what her fucking feelings are, don't forget to check out my Speak to Spark Arousal system, where I show you exactly how to elicit the feelings you want from a woman, where there really won't be any guessing game about it. That's at speaktosparkarousal.com. Don't forget to remember these 2 things and you meet a woman that you really, really like. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.